Welcome back to my Girl Love series review on this channel. Today, let's talk about Episode 7 of The Heir. Episode 7 continues to bring a very intense and dramatic storyline. With only one episode left before the series finale, this episode raises the stakes with difficult choices, unexpected twists, and a lot of emotional tension. The episode begins with what could be considered a sweet moment between Lom and Blue, after Lom confesses her feelings. At this point, viewers can clearly see that even though Blue rejected Lom's confession, her actions say something completely different. She never feels uncomfortable or pushes away Lom's affection, even when it comes to intimate moments like a kiss. They behave almost like a real couple already, showing that Blue may have fallen in love with Lom, she just hasn't realized it yet. At the same time, the episode is filled with intense confrontations, gunfights, and assassination attempts. Everything happens quickly and chaotically, making it feel like the characters are being pulled into a situation they can no longer escape. One of the most memorable parts of this episode is the story between Henry and Grace. Henry is willing to sacrifice himself for Grace, but the painful part is that Grace doesn't seem to truly care about him. She is the type of character who puts her own goals above everything else, almost ignoring the emotions and lives of the people around her. However, that coldness is also what makes her character stand out. The ending of Episode 7 is definitely the biggest moment that leaves viewers with many questions. Based on what we saw, Princess Blue appears to have died. However, there are many hints outside the episode, suggesting that Lom and Blue will have a wedding, which makes many viewers believe that the person who died might not be Blue, but Helena instead. The way they managed to exchange identities is still unclear, and the answer will likely be revealed in the final episode. Looking back at previous episodes, we can see that Helena has always carried guilt and fear, and she never truly seemed willing to continue this plan. Perhaps Blue used those feelings to convince Helena to agree to the identity exchange. However, one thing that deserves criticism is how weak the police response was during the rescue mission. When Lom was shot by Grace and fell down, she still tried to shoot Grace to help the hostage escape. At that moment, when Helena started running, the police should have immediately taken action instead of standing there until Helena was shot 3 times before finally reacting. It was honestly difficult to understand. Overall, Episode 7 is a highly emotional episode, filled with intense moments and major turning points. It is dramatic, chaotic, and leaves many questions before the final episode. If you haven't watched it yet, go check it out, and if you already watched it, let me know your thoughts.